Because from where we're sitting, COVID pandemic is an extremely big deal. It has infected hundreds of millions. It has sadly killed millions. It has closed down the world. It's caused the biggest recession for 300 years. And I guess it's had a bigger impact on our lives in Britain for certain than anything else since the war. And you have to be over 80 just to remember the war. Yet, if we think of it in a cosmic sense, how big is the deal? The Earth is small and the universe is big. I wonder if for a moment you would like to look at this picture. I was talking to someone a moment ago, I showed them the picture and said, what is it? Is it a comet? Well, no, it's not a comet. That was a picture taken by Voyager 1 in 1990, just as it was leaving the solar system. In 1977, Voyager 1 was sent on a mission, I think, I'm not mistaken, to look at Mars and Saturn. I could have got that wrong. And then it headed out, and the idea was it would look not to the very edge of the solar system, then go beyond the solar system, and from deep, dark space, still be sending back messages. From what I understand, it's still sending back those messages. One of the people who was instrumental in Voyager 1 was quite a famous American astronomer by the name of Carl Sagan. He persuaded them, and they weren't keen on doing this because it was a bit of an effort, to get Voyager 1 to turn around and to take a photograph. So it turned round and it set its sights on where the Earth is, and that is the photograph it took. So in that beam of light, you can see a pixel. That's us. That's the Earth, the edge of the solar system. Seen from this point, I guess the course of a disease on that dot is hardly a big deal. I'm going to stop sharing, but remember that image in your mind. So there is the dot of the Earth. Okay, the spaceship left the Earth 2,000 years ago and travelled at the speed of light. I know it precisely, but it's more or less 1 million miles every 5 seconds. Okay, so if the Voyager had travelled at the speed of light, it would have got to where they took that picture in about 20 seconds. Okay? It would have turned around and taken that picture. Now, if this spaceship 2,000 years ago left the Earth and has travelled at 5 million miles every 5 seconds, when do you suppose it left the galaxy? The answer is it still hasn't, and it's got several thousand years to go. The solar system is a tiny dot in a massive galaxy, and remember, there are billions of galaxies in the universe. So that dot is a dot on a dot on a dot on a dot. It is nothing. Yet, Carl Sagan, when he saw that dot, he called it pale blue dot. This is what he said. Aggregate of our joy and suffering. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a motor bus suspended in a sunbeam. Quite a thought. And now, for nearly a century, inhabitants of that dot have been listening out to find out if we're alone. Is there any other intelligent life out there? So far, unless you're a farmer in the Midwest of America, when you seem to be visited by aliens, nothing. Zilch. big fat zero. No radio wave, no microwave, no signal, no evidence of artificial light. I know a rover has recently just gone up to Mars and is seeing if there might have been microbial life on Mars. Intelligent life, there are no signs. It all leads to a strange and rather eerie possibility. Small and insignificant though we are, it is possible, and certainly in this arm of the galaxy, even probable, we human beings are the only place in the universe where the universe knows it exists. See what I mean? Jupiter, for example, totally unaware that it exists. It's just a rock, no intelligence. It doesn't know that it's had a storm whipping round it for the last 400 years. We do. Saturn doesn't know it exists. It doesn't know it's surrounded by ethereal rings. We do. We know there's a Pluto. Pluto doesn't know. Not for that matter does your cat. This knowledge, this understanding of the universe exists in us alone. Rock. Not only did life develop, intelligent life, conscious life, life which has educated itself and understands. And whether we like it or not, we are it. I find that quite awe-inspiring. That consciousness of the universe exists in one place, here, in my mind, my brain, your mind, in your brain. What a thing is the human brain. So I want to end this by just asking you to spend a few moments, and I'm going to guide you through this, concentrating on things that it does. It regulates your response to heat and cold. Every day, sometime in the evening, it decides your needs to rest, turns you off, keeps your blood pumping to every cell in your body, keeps you breathing, and it also plays with your consciousness, gives you dreams that you didn't decide to have, and eventually, when it's decided your consciousness has had a good enough break, wakes you up. You're faced with challenges. What to do, previous challenges. It also gives you other memories, memories of love, moments of joy, moments of anger, moments of fear, moments of sadness. Plans for you, looks after you. It enabled you to speak in a brief 2 years, speak a complex language. Somehow it managed to do, and when you try and learn another language, you can't do it anything like as well. Then it sends out antibodies to fight disease. And when some antibodies to COVID-19, your brain, taking them on board, is allied to them, and so has learned to create new antibodies, working together with those who created the vaccine, to fight the disease. Brain is a remarkable thing. Spend a few more moments just reflecting on that brain of yours. What can it do? What's your brain done for you? Most of all, remembering how I began this, on that small dot which on the edge of the galaxy would not be seen or even possibly under a microscope be able to be seen. The universe understands itself. We know. So your mind, along with my mind and all our minds, your brain, my brain, along with all our brains, is perhaps the most complex thing in the universe. I've actually finished that a little bit more briefly than previous talks, but I wonder if anybody has any thoughts or comments on any of that. You can pop them in the chat. If you found what I said worth interesting, you could YouTube Carl Sagan Pale Blue Dot. And the quote I gave was from a much larger talk, which I find the whole thing quite staggering. So I guess that's goodbye. Really nice to, I was going to say nice to see you. I can't see you, but nice to know you're there. Not nice for you to see me, but there we are.